Great honor to welcome Fatou Bensouda from the International Criminal Court.
I am always happy to be here, to come to attend this international humanitarian law dialogues. Not only do we talk about international humanitarian law, but the interaction with the community I always find fascinating. So even the storms could not hold me back. I had to come. To give you an update of what is happening at the International Criminal Court, maybe some of you who have been following will know that it's been pretty busy in this last 2 years, with trials ongoing and also new cases happening at the same time. And to start with our very first trial, which is the Lubanga case, this started in 2005, I believe. The case actually properly, the case itself started, and Lubanga, if you recall, is the head of a militia leader in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and he was charged with enlisting and conscripting children under the age of 15 and using them to participate in hostilities. The case has had many setbacks. We have actually lived through 2 stays of the proceedings for technical reasons, but just last week, in fact, on Thursday and Friday of last week, we had the closing arguments in the Lubanga first trial case of the ICC. And we are expecting that judgment in that case will come up before the end of this year. One of the highlights of the Lubanga closing arguments was that we had Ben Ferrance to participate in the closing. I mean, I did the opening of the closing remarks, and he was there to do the final remarks on behalf of the prosecution. I think he really did, as you know, Ben, in his typical fashion, he spoke from the heart, and I think he really was amazing. It was just amazing to listen to him. The other case that we have, which is currently ongoing, is also that of the Katanga Ngujolo. Again, this is a case of 2 militia leaders who were charged. They were the top militia leaders, and they were charged for being allegedly responsible for a massacre in Bagoro. Bagoro is a province also in Ituri in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the case started in last year, and so far the prosecution have also closed their case. We have closed our case, and the defense witnesses, the testimonies of the defense witnesses is ongoing currently, and hopefully we're expecting a final decision also in that case in 2012. We have, again, the case of Jean-Pierre Bemba. Jean-Pierre Bemba is a former vice president in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but he was charged with crimes that occurred in the Central African Republic. When the then president invited him to assist him in the Central African Republic for a coup d'etat that was, or an attempted coup that was taking place, and he brought in his militia, the MLC, to thwart of that attempt. And in the process, we are alleging that a lot of crimes have been committed. And I think I did mention it last year that this is also one of those cases where the allegations of rapes and sexual abuse outnumber the allegations of killings. I think last year when I was here, I did mention that. Again, an important aspect of that case is the issue of command responsibility. The responsibility of military commanders for what their people on the ground commit. We will end the presentation of our evidence, I think, in a month or 2. We were expecting to do that in July. And we're expecting a final decision in that case also in 2012, perhaps in the 3rd quarter of 2012. The other case that I would like to mention is that of Banda and Gerbo. These are also 2 rebel commanders, and these have been charged in the context of our Darfur case. You will recall that Darfur, the situation in Darfur was referred by the United Nations Security Council to the ICC. And we have so far 3 cases that were started as a result of our investigations. The first one was the Darfur one, which is against Ahmed Haroun and Ali Khosheb. These are also, one was a minister and the other was a militia leader. We also have the Darfur 2, in which we charged President al-Bashir, the president of Sudan, for the crimes that occurred in Darfur. And the Darfur 3 is these rebel commanders. This is the other side, not part of the government, but rebels who attacked a peacekeeper base, the African Union peacekeeping base of Haskanita. And in the process, they killed many people. And we are actually, the number of people in this particular case killed, compared to other cases, you would say that it's not so many, even though even killing one person is already too many. But in compared to other cases, it is not. But what we, the prosecution's case, tried to show in this case is that you just cannot kill peacekeepers. You know, peacekeepers, they are here to keep the peace, to at least try to bring stability and security. But if you kill them, it means that you're exposing those that they protect. So this is one of the messages that we wanted to send in that case. There is also the case of Calixte Mbarushimana. Calixte Mbarushimana is also another militia leader, top leader, and he's being accused of a campaign of massive crimes, including killings and rapes, which also occurred in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Calixte was he was arrested. He was living in Europe, actually, but the crimes that we charged him of were taking place in Africa. And he was this guy who was always out there defending those crimes. And we have information also, which we have submitted to the court, that he actually knew that the crimes were taking place. He was always either justifying why they took place in the media, and we also have information that he was in direct contact with the commanders on the ground who were committing these crimes. And this is why we have charged Calixte Mbarushimana. And he's also, maybe I should just mention, one of the former Rwanda genocidaires, what we call genocidaires. The confirmation of charges of this case will take place on the 17th of September of this year, and we're hoping that trial in that case is also going to start in 2012, next year. Then we have the case of Kenya. It's a Kenya case. We have Kenya 1 and 2. Kenya 1 is of 3 ministers, and the head of the public service and the secretary to the cabinet has been charged. This comes in the wake of the post-election violence that took place in Kenya. And we have, apart from the ministers who have been charged, we have also charged the former head of the police and also a radio broadcaster. A radio broadcaster was also charged in that case. And as I said, it was in the wake of the post-election violence that happened in 2007, 2008. They made an admissibility challenge, and this is important because the admissibility challenge that was made by the government, not by the suspects themselves, but by the government of Kenya. And it was rejected, but they have appealed, and we're expecting the decision in the appeal next week. They've given us a date for that. And the confirmation of charges hearing in that case is going to take place for Kenya 1 on the 1st of September, which is just on Thursday, and for Kenya 2, the second one, on the 21st of September. And hopefully the trial is going to start in 2012.